This gear is called the Sword of Swords. Clicking swings the sword. Pressing Q performs a jump, and then damages targets around you when you land. Pressing E makes your character spin, and shoot out sword-shaped projectiles in every direction. But these last two features only work if your character is R6. For more information, keep watching. The Sword of Swords looks like a long sword slightly covered in dirt and with 8 daggers strapped to its blade. The daggers are restrained by 3 dark green ropes, and the grips of the weapons are all a dark brown. There is no guard between the blade and grip of the sword, and protruding from the bottom of the grip is a smaller diamond-shaped blade. The main blade of the sword, along with the blades of the daggers, are mostly grey with slight color. When in use, the sword appears held in your hand. It's around as tall as your character. The tool is sold for an average price of 2,708 Robux and has no genre. Its attribute is melee, and the description says, "Yo dog, we heard you liked swords, so we made you a sword made of swords so you can slash while you slash." The in-game icon is a tilted image of the sword. It has no tooltip. When equipped, 2 buttons with the letters Q and E appear at the bottom of your screen. Like most gear, the Sword of Swords is droppable. The first way to use the gear is to click with it equipped. Your character will swing the sword for 0.9 seconds, and during this time it can hit up to 1 humanoid target that is not you. On contact with the sword, this target will take 30 damage. There is no cooldown for swinging the sword, however it cannot be swung again until the 0.9 seconds pass. The second way to use the gear is to either press the Q key or click the corresponding button at the bottom of your screen, which will activate the sword's ground ability attack. Your character will be launched upward at a speed of 30 for 0.525 seconds, before changing direction and being launched downward at a speed of 80 for 0.15 seconds. Then, around 1 second after initially pressing Q, 100 swords will rise up out of the ground around your character, and any humanoids within 15 studs of your character that are not you will take 20 damage. The ground swords are non-collidable, only for visual effect, and will sink back into the ground after 0.25 seconds before disappearing. The ground ability attack will then be complete. There will be a 5-second cooldown before the ability can be used again, and the letter Q on the ability's GUI button will be replaced with a matching 5-second countdown. The third way to use the gear is to either press the E key or click on the corresponding button at the bottom of your screen, which will activate the sword's spin ability attack. Your character will spin counterclockwise for 2 seconds, and during this time, projectile swords will constantly fly outward in the direction your character faces. Around 60 swords will be created during this time. Each will last for 2 seconds, travel at a speed of 50, and be able to hit up to 1 humanoid target that is not you. On contact with the projectile sword, this target will take 15 damage. There will be an 8-second cooldown before this ability can be used again, and the letter E on the ability's GUI button will be replaced with a matching 8-second countdown. Only one ability attack can be used at a time, and while it happens, you cannot swing the sword. If you enter first person, you can override the spinning from the sword's spin ability attack and direct the projectile swords forward. Swinging the sword or using the spin ability attack consecutively will stop the proper animation from playing until you perform another attack. If your character is R15, the animations will not play at all, and you cannot use either of the ability attacks. So is the Sword of Swords worth getting? Possibly for its original price, but I do not believe so. The gear is expensive and less useful as a melee weapon than several other gear, which each cost a fraction of its price. The restriction to only damage 1 target per swing, cooldowns for the ability attacks, and inability to overlap attacks make the sword fairly weak. Its strengths are its ability to dodge objects by boosting your jump height, however this restricts additional movement and has a 5-second cooldown, and its ability to rapidly fire projectiles with a range of 100 studs. However, this is difficult to aim, and has an 8-second cooldown. If you have any other gear you want me to review, let me know in the comments. That is all for this review. Bye.